as we move into episode 4 and my efforts to round off everything, get all the details filled in. One of the things that I can add to my list of wish I had done differently is that when I originally showed you guys how I set up the jig for this, which really wasn't a jig, it was just sawhorses with set up so that it was the width of the truck bed. And what I figured out a little bit after the fact is that I needed to do this the height of the truck bed. Where I left off, I had these center rails, the candy canes, things I call candy canes. I had those installed, so that essentially made the top, and then you obviously see the gussets on the bottom that comprise the bottom. So I kind of called that framed, but it's, I said that this episode I would do some cross bracing. And I don't know that that was really the right word for it, because I still had framing to do on top of that. And what I'm talking about is these, in order to get the contours, there's the places where the siding are going to attach that are going to ultimately make this dome, that goes up the sides, rounded in the top, and then same thing on the other side. I mentioned that I had built-in compartments for closets. So you can see over there's the passenger side one. This is the driver's side one over here. So I'm going to stop for a second just on this sleeper component and tell you a little bit more about this. Because I made some changes to the design on the fly, and they were considerable, and they really kind of changes the whole thing, and I'll tell you why. So the first thing I did was I extended these center rails out past, they actually come out about 2 inches past the side rails. And the reason I did that is because I wanted it to have a kind of a curve in, come up, and then be rounded moving over the top to give it a little bit more of a classic look. I mentioned that at the last part of the last video. And then I wanted to also have this section in the center crowned. So right now I just have the strip temporarily placed in here, but it's going to actually raise the center and cause it to bow even more over the top. Now there's a couple different ways I could do that. I actually could make curved pieces that attach to these supports. That's one way I could do it. Or I could just trust that if I put a wide enough piece right down the center, it's naturally going to be bowed over that. It's going to get filled with foam in the center, so it'll fill some voids. And yeah, that'll just, you'll see when this thing is finally put together the difference that makes, rather than just having these curved pieces that come over the top. Another thing is that underneath here, I show you I've got the 4 gussets I built. Initially I said there were going to be 8. They're not light. I think that 2 of them are really unimportant. There are going to be 2 more that are going to be on the insides here, but they may not be full all the way to the front. It's not necessary for them to be full all the way to the front, because they basically just form the side walls for the cabinet where the drawers go. This right here already has the side walls down there, as it does on the other side, so I don't really have to do anything else to build those out. I just need to build out the pieces in the center to put the center drawers in. So I guess now would be a good time to talk about the center drawers. So obviously, space is a premium. Space is at a premium. And anytime you've got this small of a living space, a living compartment. So I'm going to swing around So what I kind of want to show you is this, is that this front section up here is where the sleeper is, where the mattress goes on top here. That's 60 inches wide, and this will ultimately accommodate an 80-inch long or full-size queen bed. That's good for sleeping. You basically got your full sleeping area. I've got two little small closets, one on either side. Unfortunately, I'm tall, and they're not tall enough for shirts to hang freely, so they'll probably have to be folded shirts, or I may have to figure out something else with a hanging compartment, like maybe using the shower section here when you're not taking a shower in it. But the other thing is that we don't want to waste any space. So if you look down here, you see 3 bays, and the center one is where the window for the truck is going to be. But right above that, and about the same height, I don't know, maybe 6-7 inches tall, there's going to be a drawer in each one of these bays. Those are going to be pull-out drawers with soft close, soft slide drawer glides, and then I'll have some kind of fasteners on the outside to make sure they can't open while the truck's in transit. But what I wanted to also show you, I'm going to come to this other side here for a moment. What I also wanted to show you from this side is that from this edge, from this edge to the front is 58 inches. So I'm a little bit short, 22 inches short, to be able to make that 80-inch full-size, queen-size bed. So that other 22 inches is going to be made up with a piece that hinges up here and lays down on this front area. I haven't exactly figured out what I'm going to do with that. Because like I say, I don't want to cover up that window access, or maybe it'll be okay and just open the window access just when I need it. I can just put tilt that end up, and I have direct access to it. But so I wanted to show you that, but I wanted to also show you going up where you see that large board. Obviously, we've talked about this a million times. The air conditioner sits on that air conditioner / heating unit. And that actually caused me a little bit of a problem. Not the air conditioner unit, but that when I did the plans for this thing initially, I had either misread or was misinformed or had the wrong model and style in mind at the time. But that unit was only supposed to be 26 inches long. That sheet up there, that platform, is almost 42 inches long. Actually, it's 45 inches long by the time you add in where it's cross-supported here, there. There's another one going down the center. But that really kind of throws a kink into things, because that was all supposed to be, remember the dome that I said that I was going to be framing into this? Well, that kind of eats into my dome, because now half of that domed area is covered with a platform. Probably won't do the dome in this video. We'll probably catch that up on the next one, but what I'm thinking alternatively now is that on either side of that platform, here and over here, there's openings, so I could have skylights. So I'm thinking about changing this dome a little bit, keeping the dome, so it will still go up over top of that platform to some degree. In this area right here, I could either put a smaller skylight, or I could put an emergency hatch access or emergency exit, or I could put a vent fan. I haven't really decided yet, but so I have that area that I can dedicate to that. I have the areas on the sides where I can put the skylights. I just have to figure out or alter my design to make that happen. Then we come to this section back here, which I have to recut some of these truss. I get just this kind of thing just happens, I guess. I don't know how I did it, maybe when I was planing them off, but they're not all exactly the same. And while it may not change the characteristics of it, I don't like it. So I like everything uniform. I'm going to recut a couple of those, and probably going to add some extra reinforcement from this corner to this corner. So I'll tie those together again, just for added support on the deck. So this deck ends up being roughly 4 feet wide and about 5.5, 6 feet wide. So that's a fairly good sized deck. You can put a couple, 2 or 3 people up there, and like I say, I'm not worried about the weight on this at all. I think we'll be good.